Hello po, good evening sa lahat and then welcome again sa ating Halalan Health Talk. So, naging evening tayo ngayon sa Halalan Health Talks but actually kaninang umaga meron tayong in-interview din. So ngayon, because I'm trying to adjust of course sa ating mga guests dahil mga busy po sila. So anong intention ng Halalan Health Talks? Actually being a doctor, I really would like to discuss on health issues about this coming election. But of course, marami pa bang bagay, no? Hindi lang health, no? Kaya in-invite natin at iba't ibang mga candidates, no? To know them, 'di ba? Mahirap naman yung boboto ka, hindi naman lang natin alam, no? So, ang karamihan sa atin actually when we vote, we base on sinong kaninong partido siya, yun yung bobotohan natin. That's natural. Pero masarap din yung in my opinion, maganda yung tingnan natin sila as they are, as who she is or who he is, then pakinggan lang natin para natin na makilala bakit sila tumatakbo o ano ang kanilang mga advocacies. At the end of it all, kayo na po bahala. No? I'm not endorsing anybody. Ang aking lang ginagawa dito is allowing you to know each candidate na pumapayag din po sa ating mga invitation. So, ang aking guest po ngayon, kilala nyo na po ito. She was nominated as 2017's Inquirer Filipino of the Year, no, for her expose on human violations in Marawi. She was awarded as one of the outstanding 10 outstanding young men, no? Although woman po siya. So pero yun talaga ang tawag doon, TOYM. She is recognized as one of the 500 most influential Muslims by the Royal Islamic Strategic Studies Center in Jordan. She obtained her degrees in communication and masters in international studies at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She finished her law degree at the Arellano School of Law and acquired a fellowship program at the Oxford Center for Islamic Studies. Of course, Samira is married to the BARMM MPWH Deputy Minister Engineer Abdul Mohammed Tomawis and has a 6 years old son named Amir. So, let us all welcome po si Ma'am Samira Gutoc. Welcome po, Ma'am.
Good evening po. Good evening po, Dr. Richard Mata at sa lahat ng tagapakinig ng ating napakaganda Halalan Health Talks. Ako ay kaisa po sa atin sa Kabayan Parties in our effort to educate ang ating badlang tao.
Thank you po, Ma'am Samira. So yan po yung ginagawa natin na gusto natin gamitin itong Facebook, hindi lang sa politics na tira-tira, natural yun no? Bangga-banggaan, sira-siraan. Pero mas maganda yung gamitin natin na pakilala natin ng each and every one. Sana nga without colors muna. No? Natural may mga kulay tayo in the politics But I want to get to know you po, ma'am, as you are, as Ma'am Samira. Ma'am, in your own, sino po si Ma'am Samira Gutoc and why are you running for Senate?
Si Sam Gutoc, Samira, ay 3 decades of her life. Nag-start po bilang civic or journalist after college po sa Diliman. Journalist, civic leader. Naging several hats po So, often, kung civil society, leadership, youth development na tinatrack po natin. Volunteer for life actually, Sir Congressman to be, Sir Richard. And talaga namang isang decision sa buhay natin na tinahak ko ngayon, and second time na po ito, is to try po, to amplify po kasi nanggaling po ako sa isang digmaan na may mga sakuna, na may mga sakit, merong mga pinanggalingan na kahirapan, mga nawalan ng lahat, mental health, emotional health, physical well-being. At ito po, dumating ako sa puntong ito, Dr. Richard, that I have become a rescue team leader and may konting alam na po tayo sa pag-manage po sa crisis. At yan po ang aking ambag po, Sir Congressman, to be again, Richard, na baka po may magawa tayong batas na comprehensive recovery plan. Yes po, dahil pinanggalingan ko po nga talaga crisis. So crisis manager po Literally po, naghahanap
crisis.
ng paraan paano umabot ang ayuda sa napakaraming tao sa
Yes.
Mindanao.
Opo, no? So actually, being a Muslim po, kukunti lang po tumatakbong Muslim po ngayon, ma'am, on your opinion, for Senate po.
Mga
Ah,
almost 10 naman,
mga
kaka-Richard,
10.
Doc. But
Okay.
what's different po kasi is mga nananalo po in the past. Very illustrious po ng mga congressman na naging senator, ay many of them are administration candidates. So
Mhm.
napakalaking bagay po in 2019 na I was an
Mhm.
opposition figure, kilala po
Mhm.
na
Opo.
allied with Ocho Diretso. And
Mhm.
it was very wonderful po that VP and VP Lenny supported me that time, and the
Mhm.
Ocho Diretso Liberal Party, so that I was really uh, supported, no, by the civil society. And then came 2020 ngayon, na
Mhm.
tinanong na naman ako, no, if
Mhm.
I would be interested to run, no, under Action
Mhm.
Democratico this time.
Ah, doon sa politics side kasi yun po mga tanong namin, ma'am, we know you po na lumipat ka po, no, from LP and now Action Democratico. Bakit po, ma'am? May problem pa po doon sa kabila?
Part of a family, I acknowledge pa rin po, part of a family, parang growing up in a compound, no, na
Mhm.
magkakapatid. Sister
Mhm.
parties po ang Aksyon at saka Liberal Party, no. So I
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
adopted by Liberal Party at that time,
Mhm.
Richard, Doc, and I was very grateful po to in this pandemic rin na katrabaho sila,
Mhm.
VP Lenny, doon sa humanitarian work in Marawi and
Mhm.
different parts, no, ng ating bansa. At
Mhm.
also educating, no, the public on liberalism, kung ano po yung liberalismo na filosofiya. Pero along the way also, Aksyon Demokratiko, dahil sa nakita ko po first hand and personal, first hand yung ating kabuhayan or buhay mismo na kailangan
Mhm.
mga isalba, no? So malaki
Mhm.
pong bagay sa Aksyon Demokratiko that nakatrabaho ko yung mga ilang kabataan dito in my
Mhm.
youth, no? So they're very quick. I'm
Mhm.
very emotionally invested in the youth. So yun po,
Mhm.
Doc, yung parang hindi po iba, hindi po na iba ang aksyon bilang kapamilya in one compound po. It's just
Okay.
siguro one fence, pareho pa rin naniniwala sa mga filosofiya, pero ano po, isang kwarto siguro ang napasukan po, isang asosasyon, partido na nangimbita sa akin. So parang welcome
Okay.
me to that door, and
Okay.
I had to make also a consultation, kakadok, so yun na po, napadpad na po ako sa action.
Regarding po, ma'am, sa because actually I have in my heart, of course, na I would like to at least get a one Muslim vote for my senatorial list, no? Siyempre iba rin yung Muslim po na naintindihan nyo yung talagang dinagdaanan, no, or needs ng Muslim. Sa inyong mga idols po sa previous senators natin, can you mention any past Muslim na senators na idol mo ba siya or bakit di mo siya idol or bakit mo siyang gustong gayahin or or why?
Konti lang talaga
Anybody?
Doc, konti lang kami. O konti lang sila, mga less than 10, less than 5. Senator Santanina Rasul po ang na akin na namasdan kasi nga buhay pa
Mhm.
siya at that time. We were
Mhm.
fighting for Mindanao railroads together. Kasi
Mhm.
alam mo ba, kakadok, mas mabilis mag-travel from Manila to Mindanao than from within Mindanao. So
Yeah,
talagang malaking bagay yung
correct.
yung
Tama
project po ni
po.
Senator Santanina, a teacher
Ah,
at that po. And she
okay.
introduced po ang literacy, no?
Mhm.
Bilang yung 'di ba numeracy, pag
Mhm.
number natin ng 1 2 3 ituro sa mga
Yeah.
matatanda, marami pa rin hindi nakakasulat at
Opo.
nakaka-fill up ng mga forma po, kakadok. Nako, sa ayuda sa oras ng
Mm.
pandemya, kakadok, napaka-importante ng literacy, numeracy
Mm.
para ikaw ay
Mm.
maka-avail ng programa ng
Mm.
gobyerno.
I agree.
And
I
yes po,
agree.
Santanina Rasul, and of course there's Senator Mamintal Tamano,
Tamano.
and the mga naunang senador Alonto, who founded the Mindanao State University. Malaking bagay
Mhm.
po yung ating mga naunang senador who paved the way for us, kaming mga young generation, to get educated at makilala yung
Yes.
issue po ng pagkilala sa identity ng Muslim.
Yes po. Ngayon po, the present setup ng 24 senators, Wala po Muslim, ma'am, no? Ngayon.
Wala po kasi sa federalism setup sakali, no, na ang tagal-tagal inaasam ng Mindanao eh.
Mm,
Maraming Mindanao
mm,
movements na regionalized selection of senators eh kailangan ng
mm.
amendments 'di ba po Doc, sa constitution. So baka
Opo,
matagal
opo.
yun na madugo yun na proseso pero yun po
Mm,
para yung lopsided distribution daw of resources that
mm,
favors sometimes so much of the north
mm,
with due respect
mm,
sa inyo po Doc, is that parang wala ngang representasyon eh at boses
mm,
masyado yung mga minoridad, especially at pa yung
mm,
katutubo. With due respect sa ating mga senador rin na taga Mindanao, Pimentel, Zubiri,
mm,
at
mm,
si Bongo, no? Yung mga
mm.
senador natin, no, from Mindanao.
Opo. Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. And then I'll go to health questions po, no? What can you say about what's your plan about this pandemic po? Kung kayo po ay maging senator or any possible pandemic outbreak in the future. So, kayo po,
Thank you, Doc.
pandemic.
So bilang isang ano po, international study students, alam ko po na importante yung border partnerships no with other countries. So surveillance, naintindihan ko eh parang hindi pa masyado na set up po kakadok eh that time na alam na natin na may pwede pumasok December, January po no from Wuhan.
Mhm,
So surveillance department that would
mhm,
partner with the customs authorities of
mhm,
our fellow ASEAN and fellow from OFWs from US, so mabantayan po yun. Surveillance po is one thing for me kasi po as a millennial, no, feeling millennial po ako Doc eh, na
Oo naman.
technology at
Yeah.
teknolohiya. Lahat ay
Opo.
dependent tayo sa teknolohiya at kung maite-text sa amin Doc, maite-text bawat isa. Can you imagine Doc kung maite-text sa bawat isa, yung ito ang ating problema sa baka dito sa barangay na to may problema na yan. So alam na nila kung saan sila iiwas. Itong text application that comes
Mhm,
from a surveillance. So that science is
mhm,
necessary talaga po no sa ating
mhm,
implementasyon and scientist
mhm.
kasi kayo sir no. Kasi yung
Mhm.
kapatid ko po is a doctor chief of the COVID task force. Number
Okay.
two po, we're looking at the barangay health workers here in Marawi po.
Mhm.
Barangay health
Okay.
workers po, I know that there's no allocation. I used to guest in the Barangay Health Workers Summit here in Bangsamoro. At alam ko po
Mhm.
na yung sweldo talaga is walang sweldo. Wala pong naka-allocate sa BHW. Barangay Health
Mhm.
Workers na sila po yung contact tracer, sila po yung
Mhm.
educator, sila po yung nagbibigay direction no, sa barangay at our very basic unit from the bedroom to the classroom to the
Mhm.
boardroom. No? Kailangan yung BHWs talaga ay
Mhm.
mabigyan ng subsidiya or kanyang suporta sa kanilang
Mhm.
pagtrabaho. So they need to be salaried, Sir Kong. I know
Mhm.
that's a big toll, pero kasi there will be more diseases, infectious to come in the future po, di ba,
Yes.
Doc? Hindi yan
Yes.
mawawala in the next years, hindi lang COVID, SARS, and then COVID.
Kaya nga
Third
po.
input, sir, is that because I was rescue team leader, I saw that many did not know how to fill up forms. They did not know how to avail of subsidy cash assistance from government. So we are looking at how mismo yung mga families na indigent ay
Mhm.
ma-classify sila as automatically, no, being able to be subsidized with uh, survivorship support, especially kasi meron tayong allocated na sir, di ba kung Richard na doc, merong allocated for COVID expense. But for the
Mhm.
survivors of the dead, wala po sila. Survivors of
Mhm.
the dead COVID patients,
Mhm.
wala po silang survivorship funds, especially for the head of a family na male. So these are things po that I saw. And then po, funeral parlors, having been atambay sa mga
Mhm.
cemeteryo, funeral parlors, and nag-workout kami sir na yung PPEs talagang naghanap ng paraan from Manila paano maka-access po no sa DOH at ma-distribute no as volunteers dito sa Mindanao hospitals.
Mhm.
Nakikita po namin talaga na yung facilities, technology po kailangan po lagyan ng suporta allocation. So budgetary allocation, department has to be set up or a unit on surveillance stronger,
Mhm.
and the barangay health workers no support logistics.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you po, ma'am. Uh, okay. We'll go again. We'll jump to another health topic. PhilHealth po. What's your comment about PhilHealth and what could be your plan for PhilHealth?
My bias po talaga is ICT, no? As na-notice mo, sir, yung tracking system sa akin, na
I see.
kailangan po, sir, at the household level, having worked with volunteer organizations on the ground, is that hindi maka-access po yung pamilya for lack of documentation, documentary requirements. And again, yung lack of literacy minsan ng mga indigent families. They didn't know how to fill up the form. I literally received, Congressman Sir Richard Doc, ng mga letters of request asking me to intervene on their behalf or magsulat on their behalf because they didn't know how to communicate. So if there's a way po for PhilHealth to have an education department or a partnership with the LGU so that the indigents, yan po yung target naman DNE, di ba po, Doc? Yung DNE, the majority of
Yes.
the hospital patients are na hindi makabayad, DNE. So how can PhilHealth, not losing, but still have to serve the indigents, be able to cater to the DNE na hindi maka-access because of their indigent status. One, because of lack of literacy, katutubo sila na wala silang documentary requirements, walang ID ni isa. Kung alam ko po yun. Narami po tayong kababayan na walang ID, sedula. Hindi po. Pag magkakaroon ng sasakit, that's the time na, or cancer, that's the time na magpo-hospital eh. So yes po, PhilHealth has to be more culturally sensitive siguro po. That component po, I'd like to see in the PhilHealth law.
Okay. Thank you po, ma'am. Regarding sa hospital issues natin po, like improvements ng hospital or hospital bills, basta yung ganun po, what would be your plans po on that issues?
We have itong 3 words po that summarize po yung books not bullets, medicines not war. Yung po nun, significance, Doc Richard, nung analogy or wordings na yun po is that gumagastos naman tayo sa pakikipagbakbakan on the communist insurgency, but not at the expense of health, di ba po, Doc? So kailangan po yung hospital billings, for instance, will really target the poorest of the poor and not to hemorrhage the hospitals who administrators, the DOH, the national government, which needs to be paid, but private hospital operators tell me, many of them in the 2019, is that they're losing and they don't have the necessary subsidy and allocation, recognition from national. So yes, we do have public health institutions. We also have the private health operators, which are mostly, Doc, I don't know kung nagsaserve ka sa probinsya, yun po, di ba, ang existing yung mga private hospitals, private clinics, and rural health clinics at that, although government po yun. So talaga pong kinakailangan ang suportahan yung hospital billings ng private health operators kasi parang sila din ang talagang agrabyado. Wala daw po silang alokasyon.
Oo nga, no? So you mean you will yung bang you will make some bills to assist on improving the hospital services, kung ganun po.
Access po, access is necessary, Kakakong, because yung government PhilHealth, correct me sir, is only covering government hospitals, di ba? Always a question, bakit pumasok ka dyan sa hospital, alam mo nang napakamahal? Kasi yun lang ang available na, yan ang pinasukan ng ating kababayan. Importante po, salba ka ng per segundo, di ba? Yung one hospital command center, Kakadok, hindi agad-agad nakaka-access ang tao sa one hospital command center. So, God forbid po na dumami na naman yung COVID cases or kung ano may dumating na infectious disease. Sana po, we are guiding the poorest of the poor without literacy and knowledge, without ability to write down, fill up forms, to be able to be assisted, in their technology na cellphone or apps or may barangay health worker na mag-assist sa kanila to avail of hospital service.
Okay, thank you po. Maganda po yung mga plataforma mo at mga plano. May tanong po dito, ma'am. Ilalagay ko dito. Si Shermina Muko. Ano pong plataforma niya or gusto niyang maging batas if ever she will be elected as senator na magbe-benefit sa Muslim community since she herself is a Muslim?
Thank you, Shermina. So did you know po, Ma'am Shermina, that Arabic or Alive, Arabic language and Islamic values education, Alive, is not fully allocated for nationwide. So depende lang sa mayor governor ang sweldo no ng teachers. So wala pong madrasa law or allied teachers law ang ating bansa. To think, Doc, that we have 800 years of Islam in the Philippines. Oo, sinaselebrate nila sa Sulu 600 or 700 years. So 800 years is estimate ko lang po. Kasi nga kulang ng narratives dito from this part of our country sa Sulu at Bangsamoro. So yun po, one is madrasa support sa ating Islamic Arabic studies. Kasi syempre, di ba po, to educate the generation, you start with their language, you start with their worldview and their own culture. And then pangalawa po, yung ating suporta sa kanilang participation sa peace and order councils or slash the creation of a Muslim council per LGU in every part of the country, knowing that minorities po sila at marami silang unique needs. Kaya nga po may National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, pero wala pong pondo ang NCMF to have directory tracking of them, to know their problems, to research about them. Wala pong budgetary allocation ng NCMF except for pilgrimage or Quran reading. And then third program would look into the system of supporting our mosques to be cultural centers as well. Kasi bawal bigyan ng budget ang mosque as a religious center. Kasi nga bawal separation of church and state, di ba po, Sir Richard, Doc? So kailangan po i-support sila bilang cultural center so that we can teach our Christian brothers and sisters the beauty of Islamic architecture, Islamic heritage, na makita nila, di ba, makapasok sila sa ating mga mosque. So this can be a library, kasi may library po dyan Meron pong teaching center po sa loob ng mosque. So it's not just a prayer center po, but also a classroom area and even a heritage, or we had a portion on the architectural mga insignia. Makikita mo yung Arabic.
Ang ganda po Ma'am, may magandang comment yan. Ayan po, si Lee Orbs. Ma'am Samira is smart and beautiful.
Ma'am Lee, thank you so much. Pampagising ko yan. 15 hours of bugbog sa suyod sa mga probinsya kanina.
Kanina, nagbabiyahe ka ngayon, ma'am, di ba? Kakauwi mo lang po.
Mamaya, alis na naman ng alas 3 ng umaga yata. Alas 4.
Grabe. Ito po, ma'am, almost the same ata ito. From Dred Bayon on.
Hi, Dred.
Maganda po na may maging representative ang ating mga kapatid na Muslim at sana po maging tugma ang qualifications ng mga leaders natin sa posisyon na hahawakan nila. Ano pong comment mo po?
Salamat po, sir. Salamat po, Sir Dred. Ipaalam nyo po sa buong bansa, sa mga Facebook friends community, kasi kulang kami talaga, Kong Richard, Sir Richard, Doc, ng resources and logistics. Kasi nga, syempre, di ba po, baguhan na politician, hindi po ako talagang dugong bukaw. Wala po ako malaking pamilya na nasa national. So sana po makilala po ang ating tinitindigan, inaambagan.
Okay po. Ito another question po from kay kay Shermina. Doc, speaking of sahod, bakit po ang BARMM always po delayed ang pasahod nila? Umabot ng 3 months delay. What can she do if she will be elected as senator?
I think po, Ma'am Charmaine, it has something to do with trying to make corrective measures of trying to reconcile, I think, previous administrations with now. At minsan, nadidelay nga kahit naka-allocate na po yan because maybe there are unpaid liabilities of the past or how. At of course, that's not an excuse to delay your salaries. Pero having worked inside the bureaucracy, alam ko, at nagtrabaho rin ako sa bangko, alam ko na kailangan talaga ng madugong masusing pag-reconcile, pag-redress ng mga unpaid na liabilities, unpaid remittances. Sir Doc, if you don't know, Sir Richard, we have had billions pesos worth of unpaid remittances in the past sa Bangsamoro or sa ARMM, Autonomous Region, wherein during Aquino administration, under Governor Hataman, we as a sectoral representative, we try to resolve payment of partial liabilities. So of course, salaries is another item, hindi po yun liability. So ang aking magagawa bilang senador is to automatically dapat po lumalabas agad sa GCash yan, or sorry, your account, dapat po mabantayan that the land bank or the BBM automatically releases, kasi automatic ang principal doktrina when it comes to
Mhm.
salaries. It should be the number one liability of government. Dapat bayaran agad, di ba po? So I will
Opo.
knock on the door always. I will always say,
Mm.
prioritize our labor, our workforce, especially the teachers and the Bangsamoro,
Okay.
the poorest of the
Ito
poor.
po, may tanong si Nico, saang parte ng Mindanao yan si Mrs. Gutoc? Taga saan ka talaga,
Hi,
ma'am?
sir. Yes, Sir Nico. So I studied in Diliman. Matagal ako sa Tanang Sora, pero ako my parents are from Marawi, Lanao del Sur. I speak po Maranao. I also read
Hmm,
Arabic po at taga
mm.
Lanao del Sur, Marawi po ako, Lanao del Norte. So dalawang probinsya po kasi mami and papa ko.
Hmm,
Thank you po.
mhm. Okay. Sinabi naman ni Christine, hindi po halata na pagod po kayo, super gorgeous pa rin.
Grabe, no?
Okay.
Napaka-cute na naman. Salamat po, salamat.
Ito po,
Nakukuha sa
importanteng
makeup po, Ma'am Christine.
latest po ito from Christopher. Pabor po ba kayong buwagin ang NTF-ELCAC at bakit po?
Sir, respeto po sa mga Philippine Army, DND, the National Security Council. I was former Army Advisory Board member po, Sir Richard, no? So alam ko
Opo.
po yung complications ng ating kailangan i-address, no, sa ating insurgency, sa ating din sa probinsya, no, sa mga probinsyang nasa bundok na yung recruitment is very accessible. At na-meet ko nga sa Zamboanga Sur yung mga best practices ng mga sundalo, but brigade commanders na they're trying to build, no, relationship para po through the NTF LCAC. Pabor ba ako na buwagin? Sana po yung budgetary na lang, na as nakita nyo siguro yung bias ko, kailangan talaga natin sa health, kalusugan, medisina, access sa impormasyon, technology apps para naalalaman agad natin yung nagkakasakit. Huwag natin hintayin ma-cancer, stage 4. So whether ano po, yung health or security, of course, magkapatid yan, national security and ating seguridad sa ating kalusugan. Pero right now, pandemya eh. Baka pwedeng humiram muna si emergency powers ni President. Di ba, sir, parang calamity powers pa rin yata si President, di ba? So he has the
Opo.
power to actually move some funds. Right po, Sir Kong? Sir
Okay.
Richard? So sana health.
Yeah, point well taken po. Ito sinabi ni Kisa, Macbi, maganda ang plataporma mo, Ma'am Samira. Ikaw ang number 1 senador ko sa balota. Sana pala rin kang manalo.
Thank you so much, Kisa. Sana po, I do my research po. I try to do my research. I'm very honored po, Doc, na I was able to avail and be a representative ng napakaraming komperensya na drafter ako minsan eh. Ako yung nagsusulat talaga ng declaration ng konferensya. Na-train ako ni God siguro na nakaka-articulate po kahit papaano, Doc Richard, ng mga manifesto. So,
very good. Maganda po yung mga comments natin. And then, kayo po, ma'am, in this election, given this period, sa tingin niyo po medyo kumusta na yung bakbakan ngayon sa inyong mga analysis na lang po? Okay, from the whole party itself, from presidential to the senators, ano po ang iyong saloobin, ano ang paningin niyo na mangyayari sa tatakbo ng mga buwan? Kayo po.
Kala ko nga, Doc, bakbakan sa Marawi Siege kasi talagang mental setup ko tungkol sa communities eh, hindi sa politika. Nakakalimutan ko, nasa politika na pala ako, Doc. Out of topic, pero 5 years na, hindi pa rin nakakabalik yung ilang taga-Marawi sa ground zero. Sa politika naman, Doc, I echo si aking presidential, si Yorme, na we trying to reach as many provinces in the archipelago as possible, at hindi namin masyadong, syempre, hindi namin masyadong ma-absorb, yung kung anong decision po ni Sara or sina Bongo. Sila na po yun, or Bongo ba? Si Bato? Yung mga substitution rules. So, Kong Richard, Doc, if they decide not to run, may the best persons win.
Yes, opo naman.
Good luck. I-presenta nila yung plataforma nila po. I-presenta nila.
Yes, sabi ko naman, allow everyone to run, let the people decide. Kasi naman, this is a democratic country eh.
Yes po.
So maganda yung ina-allow natin. And then I'm not gonna take a lot of your time, because I know you need to rest. So before I end, I just would like to thank you for this opportunity, and probably before the election happens, I could invite you again. Uh, but as of the moment, I'll give you a short time, ma'am, for you to speak to our followers po, before we
Correct.
end this podcast. Please
Thank
po.
you, Kong Richard. Thank you. Talagang humbled po that Kong Ronsalo led me to you po at sa 1 million followers mo, Congressman to be at Kabayan Party List. I'm so honored po. Si Ate Sam Gutoc ay napanday po, no? Hindi po ito pang ano lang, kwentong pang-eleksyon. Pinanday po siya ng kahirapan ng digmaan. I saw the Marawi siege na yung mga nawalan ng bahay literally. Kailangan pong i-rescue ng ating mga volunteers yung mga stranded, yung mga nawalan. So parang napakaraming parallels sa pandemya at sa digmaan kasi nga sakuna at saka disaster crisis po iyon,
Mhm.
emergency. So
Mhm.
literally, we were holding cell phones na nag-volunteer kami to receive calls at nililink sa sundalo at minsan di mo na alam kung mentally apektado ka na masyado na, oy, mamamatay na ako dito, nagbabakbakan na sila. So si Samira Gutoc po ay naka-experience po ng ganon na emotional, no? Because she was also invested sa Marawi siege. Pero hindi lang po doon. Nakita ko rin ang Zamboanga siege. I was a humanitarian volunteer. Yolanda, although hindi ako nakapasok sa Tacloban, we were also heading the relief operations. And Sendong Iligan, one of the worst tragedies to hit Mindanao. So kita ko po, number 6 po tayo sa calamities worldwide. And yet wala tayong calamity preparedness plan. Wala po
Mhm.
tayong health recovery plan or pandemic
Mhm.
recovery after. No, itong ating, December, nakatatakot na ako, baka sana
Mhm.
po God bless or God, hindi bumalik, no, yung ating COVID. So sana po
Yeah.
prepared tayo. We have our research. Let's do
Mhm.
our part collectively as a community, as humanity. Si Ate Samira Gutoc kay Tutok sa crisis proposes to work hard for our Philippine country. I hope so. And become the first sakali na taga Marawi na maging senadora ng Pilipinas na babae. Mabuhay po tayong lahat and say no to fake news. Mabuhay po tayo.
Okay, salamat po, Ma'am Samira. Thank you very much for your time na binigay sa amin. This video
Pray.
will remain in my page until po hanggang election time, and
Oh my gosh,
yung
thank you
mga
po, Doc.
na-interview ko, siyempre, i-repost po namin yan para po kaming mga voters. Actually, this is the first time actually I've been learning about you, and then at least andito na po itong
I
video
enjoyed our
natin.
interview po. And sa Davao
Opo.
po, my respects to our Davao families po. I've been
Ay,
always there. Parang taga Davao ako rin.
Thank you po. Sige po, salamat po sa lahat, and I'm not
Thank
gonna take
you.
much of your time,
Magsukol.
and God bless po, Ma'am Samira.
God bless po. Mapiyag gabi. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you po, Ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much sa lahat ng nakinig. At least nakilala natin ngayon si Ma'am Samira as she is, no? Yung pala yung mga pinagdaanan niya, yung mga achievements niya. So, at the end of it all, kayo na po bahala dyan. At least, ang ginawa ko lang is nilantad ko po yung ating mga possible candidates na pagpipilian. So, with that po, magandang gabi po sa lahat at salamat po sa lahat ng nanood. Good evening po.